Okay guys, we are headed to the expo to pick up my running bib and maybe walk around and check out some of the tents and stuff that will be out there. I might, if they have like a hat, I might buy a hat or a running shirt for tomorrow if they have something, because I haven't celebrated my promotion yet, and then I'm rolling over like a little under $100. Well, I guess it's like 80 something since I went over last month, and I want to, I want to celebrate myself, even if it means getting like a little running shirt or like a hat or something that's fairly inexpensive. It's gonna be expensive, but I want to get something for myself for tomorrow if I can find a breathable hat. Otherwise I might end up wearing this one because I haven't washed my other ones, so I might end up wearing this hat tomorrow. I don't know, but I would like a breathable hat for tomorrow. So we're on the way to the expo. I'm so excited, so I will catch you guys when I get to the expo. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a once single woman. Still kind of feels weird saying that. Still a single income, and I'm on a journey to budget and pay off my debt one step at a time. Now today's video is a little different from my usual budgeting content. I'm taking you along for something super special, which was the Peachtree Road Race. I trained really hard for this race, and I wanted to share the experience with you, from the expo to the race day and kind of everything in between. So stick around until the end and I'll share my thoughts on how the race went, what I learned, where I stumbled, and why this race holds such a meaningful place in my heart. But don't worry, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled budgeting content next week. But for now, let's lace up and let's hit the road together in this video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, just got done at the expo. I have to admit, not a fan of the expo this year. Usually they do it at like the convention center over by Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And this year they did it at Lenox Square, which is at the starting line or the starting point of the race. And they did it under tents and stuff like that, but it was just so crowded. There was no room to walk. There were so many people. And of course, like the parents with the strollers kept like hitting the back of my ankles, and crowded, and there just was no room to walk. So I got what I needed, which was my bib, and I also got, oh, there's the bag of goodies. I have a running bib in here, which I don't think I'm going to show the number, but I'm not going to show that. But I found the hat. I found a hat that I wanted. I want a breathable hat. This is not a breathable hat, and I don't have a breathable hat, so I got one. This is really what I wanted. I for sure overspent on this, and I was really hoping it would have a cute design, but it didn't. And then I also got a runner's t-shirt. I found it in a men's medium because the women's sizes had really short sleeves, and I like longer sleeves. Let's see if I can... They had a whole bunch of different designs. Peachtree Road Race, and then on the back is the course map. Cool, right? I don't know. I like that. I like the blue. And I wish it was in red, but it's in red. Really cute designs this year. I don't normally get the merch, but you know, I really wanted to celebrate my promotion somehow, and this was my way of doing it. I for sure overspent. I think I spent like $60, but knowing that I had $80 to kind of splurge on for myself, I didn't care. And what I'm going to do right now is, oh, and then I had beer, and I went ahead and got my ID checked for tomorrow, so that tomorrow after the race I can just go straight to the tent and pick up my beer. It's the little things. It's the little things. And I am going to stop by Waffle House and get a waffle. I'm gonna have a waffle. I haven't eaten anything for breakfast or lunch. I'm gonna have a waffle, maybe some hash browns, and then that's gonna be my little treat for today. Tomorrow, oh, and tonight I made some chicken enchiladas with rice, so I'll have that for dinner. And tomorrow morning I'll just have a little bowl of oatmeal and electrolytes. I'm gonna start drinking my electrolytes today. I'm gonna drink half today and half tomorrow. I think I'm gonna wake up at 3, eat like right away because I want to digest and go to the bathroom before I leave. Goal is to leave tomorrow from my place at 5 a.m. to get to the starting point at 6. I think the waves start at 6:30. I think I have to check, but that's the plan for tomorrow. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, anyway, I was literally only in there for like 30 minutes just to pick up my thing. I got a free sample of ice cream too, so that was nice. And my beer, I got a free beer. But yeah, I'm gonna fight to get out of here because it is so crowded, man. There's so many people here. You can't tell in the parking lot, but out there, like on the roads, oh my gosh, it was a nightmare getting here. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So excited. Hey everyone, good morning. It is race day. I have my bib on, my shoes, my running t-shirt that I picked up yesterday, and my ID, my key in my pocket. And now I'm just going to pack some of these gels and put them in my other pocket. And I've already ordered my Uber, so they are on the way and we're heading over there. Ah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All those elites. We're on the start line. 2 minutes to start. Those are all elite athletes there. Okay, so finally made it. My first Uber canceled on me. Second Uber just sat there for like 10 minutes. My third Uber finally got to me. So I'm running a little bit late. I still need to use the restroom, but I'm about to head over to my wave and check in from there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, let me get a roll. Can you hear me?
Okay, here's the start of one of the waves. I think this was wave G, and as you can see, this race is so electric. And yeah, this is just one of the waves, guys. Like this year, I think they said it was just under 60,000 runners that took on the world's largest 10K race. Yeah, everyone from first-time runners to elite runners, the energy is always just so electric, and yeah, I just absolutely love this race. Temperatures were pretty good in the morning. Got a little higher there in the mid-afternoon. Here I am, crossing the first 5K. Made it to the halfway point. The start of cardiac count. Let's go.
Good job. 3 miles.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
You're at milestone! You're at okay. Gotta finish the crowd, lady. Almost there.
Hey, alright, so it is post race recap. I think I got home like around 11 a.m. I was going to vlog a little bit in the park post race, and I wanted to find the Sweetwater tent to get my free beer, but my legs were shot. Like, I mean, my legs were pretty they were hurting pretty bad, so I just took an Uber home. Yeah, I thought my brother was going to be able to go, but unfortunately he had to work today, so he wasn't there. But that's okay. I still had a lot of fun, and it was just so much fun. So I'm just really happy that I did it. I've since taken a shower, and I took the longest nap, and I've just been rotting in bed pretty much all day since the race. It is now like 7 o'clock. I decided on pizza and wings as my treat. So I picked up a pan crust pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut. Now, is the recipe different like for Pizza Hut now? Because I remember the pan pizza being so, like, I was craving, I mean, I've been craving pizza for a while, but I really wanted the pan pizza, and I remember it having like, I don't say like greasier, like crispier edge, and it just didn't have it this time around. It's still really good. That meal was also really expensive. I went over budget on that one. I also stopped by Quick Trip to get, look how big this thing is, to get a fountain drink. There's just something so refreshing about a proper fountain drink from the gas station. I don't know how to explain it. So I got a big old thing of Diet Coke, or Diet Dr. Pepper. I was craving that too. I was just craving something kind of refreshing for that. Plans for the rest of the 4th of July, don't have any. I was going to go meet someone tonight, but honestly I'm not feeling it. I don't want to leave the house, so I'm not going on a date. We're going tomorrow. I've not gone on a date with this person yet. He's someone new that we'll talk about it. Maybe I should have a dating series. I don't know. Maybe I could like rank them.
Well, that didn't age well, did it?
When you guys, I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to the topic at hand. Peachtree post race. So I've since eaten. I got my fountain drink. I also picked up a Snickers bar because I've been craving that too. Like, I've been, during this whole training few months, I've really been smart about how my nutrition and my training and all of that has a huge effect on like your performance and meeting your targets and meeting your marks. Now, that's not to say that I haven't enjoyed myself. I have, you know, like I have had a margarita here and there, and ice cream and stuff like that here and there, but I've not enjoyed myself like I have with pizza and wings and, you know, stuff like this. I have not done this in a while. Okay, so let's talk about the race and kind of what has happened since. So, got to the start line. I think I showed you guys me walking up to the start line. And I will say that I thought that this race was off just because like of this trouble that I had with the Ubers just put me in a really foul mood. But when I finally got there, it was almost like a blessing in disguise because my Uber driver was so sweet. I mean, she was amazing. And she kind of calmed my spirit. I don't know. She like calmed my nerves. She was just such a great Uber driver. And I ended up getting out of her car while we were still on the highway because traffic was so backed up. And she was like, are you sure? Like, I don't mind waiting and I can wait and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, it's not because I don't want to. It's just that, you know, the race is about to start and I have to go. Like, I still had to use the restroom and I still had to find my wave and I still had to, you know, I wanted to see the elite start. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. And so... But she was so sweet. But it was almost a blessing in disguise because by the time I got there, like I was able to get front, I don't want to say row experience, but like the elite women runners, oh my gosh, they were just, as soon as I got there, like right at that moment, at that intersection where I was, start of the race, I got the perfect view. And I wish I had recorded it. Like I wish I had my phone out to record it at that moment. But I was just kind of taken in that moment, you know, of watching these amazing women just speed by. And I don't think people realize like how fast they're going. They're running 4.5 minute miles. Like I'm exaggerating, but they're running like 5-minute miles. I mean, these ladies are zooming. That's why they're elite runners, right? And they're professional runners. A lot of them are. So I just thought it was so cool. I got to experience that. I got to see the elite men's, and in Georgia they do this really cool thing when the high schoolers, the fastest like high schoolers can compete with the elite men or something like that, and they let them line up with them and start with them and run the race as well, like compete. And I just think that's really cool too. So to give some of the younger generation and high schoolers something to like work towards and accomplish. So I just thought that was really cool. And of course at Lenox Square is always the top, the crowd, the wave starts, everything, the music, the DJs, the announcer is always so great at keeping the energy up, you know, and people are excited, and a lot of folks, you know, we've trained for so long. And I mean, you guys know, like I've been training for this since like March, like proper training since like March. And you know, it's a great thing to like look forward to and stuff like that. And it was just exciting. Of course, running past Piedmont Hospital, the Shepherd Center, and you know, all of the cheering zones really gives you like a boost of energy when you're on the course. And when I got to the finish line, I was gassed out, and maybe I could talk a little bit about that also. But I have to talk about kind of my race strategy and what I was doing. So mile 1 was great. I was on pace, and when I went back to look at my time, my race pace was 10:40, which was great because I was my target for my training has been 10:30. So the fact that the first mile I got 10:40 was a huge accomplishment for me because like my body was in a rhythm. When I got to mile 2, I really had to go pee, and I'll talk about I really had to go to the bathroom. And I'll talk about some things that I would do differently and some things that I've learned here in a second. But and what didn't work for me. But I really had to go to the bathroom. Like by mile 2, I really had to. And I always carry wipes with me to races because the porta potties run out of tissue paper, but then also like I'm not sitting on the actual porta potty. Of course you don't want to use them, but when nature calls, like, and you're running and you're in that zone and it's like I gotta go to the bathroom. So mile 2 I had to stop to use the restroom, and that I think added like 2 minutes to my time, but when I look back at it, the time was like 12:35 or something like that. So if I did not stop to use the restroom, mile 2, I would have hit my target as well. Mile 3 was perfect. Like, again, I hit my targets fairly well. I think I got like a 10:50 mile for mile 3, so that was like the first 5K. And then mile 4 and 5, mile 4 is where the beast of the Peachtree happens, and that is Cardiac Hill. Cardiac Hill is an incline, and it is every single year, and it is literally where I don't want to say fail, but because I always finish the race, but it's where I struggle, because that incline, it's really hard to prepare for if you're not on that course and you're not training on that course, on that hill. And I promise you this, I was like telling myself like all of these positive affirmations, and I'm just telling myself, girl, you can do anything for 20 minutes. You can do anything for 20 minutes. You can do this, you can do this, you can do anything for 20 minutes. You can do this. And it's just one foot in front of the other, just one foot in front of the other. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I got kind of in the zone. So I was kind of looking like down towards the pavement and kind of in front of me, and I had my hat on. So I had my hat on, and I was just kind of like looking down and just, one foot in front of the other. And judging by my foot strikes, I was counting them. And so I knew, and my body just kind of naturally knew, like, okay, this is where I should be at by now. And I promise you, my body, I was telling myself, like, surely I'm like a quarter of a way done. I can do this for another 0.75 miles. I can get through this and get to mile 5. And as I'm telling myself this, I look up. Oh, and then they try to rebrand Cardiac Hill this year to call it, they were calling it Hope Hill. And I look up and I see this giant sign that said beginning of Hope Hill. And I promise you, my knees like buckled underneath me. I was like, there's no way. So I tried to think of like, obviously I don't want to injure myself. I don't want to, at that point, like I was starting to struggle. My legs were starting to feel some strain. My breathing was off. Like everything that I kind of had trained for just kind of went out the door. At that point, I was struggling major. So I just decided, run, walk, and really slow down my pace. So I did. And I think my mile was like a 14-minute mile or something like that for mile 4. Mile 5, it was kind of the same story. I was really struggling. By that time, and this is something that I made a mistake. I'll talk about my mistakes in a second, but one of my mistakes was starting to feel it. I was starting to feel it at that moment. And I just was telling myself, like, you just got to get to mile 6. Once you turn the corner to get into Piedmont, it's a straight shot and you can do this. And that's kind of pretty much what happened. When you get towards the end of mile 5, there's so many spectators and run clubs that are cheering people on that it kind of gives you a surge of energy to just keep going. And that's what happened for me, at least. Now, I wasn't going very fast. I think my last mile was like a 12-minute mile or over a 12-minute mile, but I was doing a run walk kind of situation because I was struggling. But overall, I did so much better than last year. I shaved off like 15 minutes from my time from last year. So I finished right under 1 hour and 20 minutes. It was right under, I think it was like 119 something. So I'm proud of myself again for finishing it the time that I finished it, especially because I did so much better than last year. And I didn't feel like I felt like I had more mental grit this year than I did last year for sure. So, it was hard. It was really hard getting up that hill. Some lessons from the race, like how did my training hold up? I was behind on training initially. I caught up fairly quickly. I kept challenging myself to a point where I didn't feel like it was too much, to the point where I would stop with my training program, because that was kind of my issue last year, is that I made a training program, or I didn't make it, but I was following a training program last year that I felt was too hard, that I didn't really follow it to a T, which is why this year I decided to structure my own training program based on my own experiences and my own capabilities. That I did so much better, I think, this year. Now, again, I'm not a professional, but I will say that I liked my training program this year a lot better. I think the time speaks for itself, because I did so much better than last year, for sure. Surprises from this year, the weather. It was so less humid than previous years today. Now, it still got into the high 90s. But there was like a slight breeze in the air. So to me, the weather, you couldn't ask for better running weather on the 4th of July. Previous years, like, it's been really humid and sticky, and by the time you get to the start line, like, you're already sweating and all of that stuff, but not this year. The weather was really, really nice. There was no rain. And yeah, I mean, I was really surprised at the weather, for sure. As far as, like, those were, like, really the only surprises. The other thing that I didn't like, and I don't know if I mentioned this in my earlier vlogs for this video, was at the expo, they did it at the start line, and I did not enjoy that. The traffic getting out of Lenox Mall it took me an hour to get out. Ooh, I need to hide this. I just realized that you can see that. I need to hide. No, it took me like an hour to get out of Lenox Mall. The traffic there was terrible. I got the vision and I understood, like, kind of what the vibe that they were going for. There were just so many people in that tent. Getting in and out of the parking situation was a nightmare. It took me an hour to get out, and I was incredibly frustrated. So I did not like the expo this year, unfortunately. Some things that I learned about myself as a runner is that, mental discipline is something that it's almost like a muscle that has to be trained, because there are so many times, especially in my training program and training days, that I didn't feel like it. I'll be honest, there were days that I just did not want to do my workout. But I set those thoughts aside, and it's like, girl, just do it. Just get out of the way. I mean, there was one night that I got on the treadmill at like 10:30 in the evening. I just kept putting it off, and a huge part of me was like, well, you just don't have to do it. But then at the same time, I'm like, nope, I'm only like 3 weeks away. You got to do it. And I did it. Same thing, traveling for work. I mean, there were days when I really just wanted to get back to the hotel and just hang out. But I still got into the gym, and I still worked out. I still did my workout for that day. And I think I learned that mental discipline is just as important as nutrition and the training programs and the splits and stuff like that. You know, even today, there were times where I wanted to really stop. Like, I really wanted to stop and just walk. And while I slowed down my pace, you know, and it felt like, you know, in my mind, I felt like I was still trying to, like, do a little pep in my step, but I'm sure to others I was walking, you know, but in my mind I wasn't. Like, in my mind I was still doing something. So I think I learned that I really am capable, right? Like, mentality and stuff, and just, you know, even out there today, like, girl, you can do anything for 20 minutes. You can do anything for 20 minutes. Just get through these 20 minutes and then check in with yourself again, right? And then it was like a continuous, you can do anything, you can do it, you can do it. This is what you trained for. You can do this. So I, you know, again, did I hit my goal? Yes and no. I think for sure, yes, in that I structured a program and I stuck to it, and I went out there today and I did my absolute best, and I left no gas in the tank. I mean, by the time I was done, like, while crossing the finish line, I had no gas in my tank. I was on empty. My legs were terrible. Like, I think you know, did I hit my 10:30, you know, 10:30, 10:40 mile splits? No, right? Because cardiac hill. But I still did it. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I still did it. I finished it. I crossed the finish line. And what, to me, that's succeeding, right? It's not about the result. It's about the journey, I think, sometimes. I don't know. Now I'm being sentimental, but so yes and no. No, I didn't hit my split times that I had trained for and really wanted to hit, but I did it. You know, I did the thing. I went out there and I showed up and I did my absolute best. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I gave it everything that I had. I'm about to cry. Why am I crying? Oh my God, I'm so sentimental. I don't know why I'm about to cry. I don't know. Because, you know, you learn so much about yourself and your support system and your friends and everybody that supported you. And, oh, my friends were out there. Sorry, my brother didn't go, but my friends were out there, and they had signs and stuff. So one of my friends took her dog, and she called it a pet stop. So I petted her dog, and I just gave them all high fives as I ran by. So I thought that was really sweet to have, you know, your support system along the way. It's just means a lot to me. It does. It means a lot to me to have really good friends and a support system, and just knowing that, like, I did it. Some things about what I did wrong. Probably more as I sit here and think about the day. When this can go for anything, like any physical fitness test or training or, I don't know, race. But when you're training for something, hitting your nutrition, like, nutrition is just as important as the actual workouts and the actual training and stuff, because it's really important to figure out, like, what works for you, what fuels your body, how your body reacts to certain foods and things like that. So this morning I woke up really late, so I did not have enough time to eat what I would have preferred to eat, which would have been a bowl of oatmeal. I just didn't have enough time to eat it and digest it and use the restroom here and get over to Lenox Mall and start the race and everything on time and not worry about having to go to the bathroom and all of that stuff. So what I ended up doing was I had a big old bagel with peanut butter and banana and honey, thinking that, like, you know, I eat this not often, but it is something that I had readily available. It was something quick that I could eat and all of that stuff, but I just don't think that there was enough fiber, or I don't know, in there. Because and I tried really hard to use the restroom while I was here, and that didn't work out. The other thing is I timed my electrolytes too late. Too early. So I drank my electrolytes while I was still here at the house, while I was in the Uber on the way there. And when I got to Lenox Mall, I really had to go to the bathroom. So I did use the bathroom before the race even started. But after mile 1, as I'm running and things are moving around, and I was waiting for so long to finally start, that when I finally started, I had to use the bathroom again. So I think that was my mistake number 1. I didn't time everything the way that I had kind of practiced, the way that I had been doing it, and my body was like, sucker. So I think that was my mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was that I forgot to put sunscreen on. I don't think you guys can tell, but I'm rocking a pretty gnarly farmer's tan right now. I forgot to put sunscreen on. I didn't put any on my arms or my legs, so I have a cut-off line from where my shorts were. I tan fairly easily, so I have a pretty gnarly tan going on right now from the run. So that was mistake number 2. Forgot to bring Band-Aids. So this is kind of where I was getting at earlier when I was talking about the last mile. I think mile 5 and mile 6 especially. The blisters on my feet were hurting so bad. I mean, really bad. And last year, I remembered to bring bandages. So when that happened, I just got off the course real quick, just bandaged my feet up, and then kept running, and I was okay. But this year, I forgot to bring Band-Aids, and I didn't have anything to bandage my feet, and it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. And my feet they're in a lot of pain. When I showered, it stung like both. It hurt so bad. So that was another mistake that I gotta remember for next year. And then I think those are the 3 ones that come to mind pretty quickly. Like, okay, I messed up here, but I guess in hindsight, again, mentality, just like, keep going, girl, keep going, it's done. Like, yes, this is painful, but you gotta keep going, and I did. And this race means so much to me because I don't think I've ever told this story on here before. I don't think I have. Growing up, I was really good friends with my best friend at the time. And she and I were more than just best friends. I mean, we were like sisters. And we had a huge falling out that, we both went our separate ways. And, looking back on it, I could say that, yeah, like, I was very codependent on that friendship. But at the same time, I know that things were not, I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like things there was never any closure there, I guess. And I was dependent a lot on that friendship because she was like my sister. I mean, we were more than just best friends, we were sisters. And after our falling out, I went on this solo kind of journey, right? Where like I learned a lot about myself and realizing that I don't need people to go out to dinner. I can take myself out to dinner, right? I don't need to have somebody to go to the movies. I don't need someone to plan a trip with. And I went on like this journey of finding myself and my own personality, my own identity. And this race was kind of one of those things that got me back into that journey, right? Of like, this is something that I want to do, and I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to have fun. And this was around that time, or it was shortly after, I think it was that year that we had our falling out. And this was kind of one of the first things that I really did kind of on my own, and learned a lot about myself as a person, as a woman, as a career woman, as a friend, as a daughter, as a sister to my brother. Like I learned a lot about myself from this race, and this is why this race means so much to me. Am I planning to do it again? Absolutely. I've already registered. And I am determined to do better. I am determined to get up that hill, guys. But I also wanted to share or show the they call it, this is the runner's jersey from last year. Let me see if I can show you guys. This is the runner's shirt from last year. So when you cross the finish line and you get to the park, you get a runner's shirt. And this is the design that won last year. It is a coveted shirt because you can only get it if you cross the finish line. And so here is the winning design from this year. I love the red. It kind of looks orange on camera, but it is red. It's a red shirt, and here's the design that won this year. I asked for a women's large. They gave me a men's extra large. So it's gonna fit a little big, but that's okay. That's okay, we'll make it work. We'll tie it up, make it work. But these are high quality Adidas like running shirts, but you can only get it very breathable. Going back to the hat, I did right with the hat. By the way, did I mention that? Man, that thing was so breathable. I barely sweated underneath it, so that was a really good hat. I'm glad I bought it. But yeah, this is a runner shirt, and then here's the medal from this year. Last year it was different. It was shaped differently. I can't find it, but the medal, runner's medal from this year. So that is the end to this saga of my race. So you guys won't hear about this probably until next February when I start training again. But if anything, like, I've learned that I need to focus on strength training and building up my leg muscles to get up that hill. So that's what I'm going to focus on for the rest of the year is lifting heavy again, trying to build some muscle. And yeah, so I will be back out on the course again next year. I've already registered, and I'm excited to do it all over again. I'm excited to do it all over again. And I don't have another kind of series or anything to talk about. So if you guys are interested in hearing about my dating escapades, my dating adventures, I could talk about that, as like a chit-chatty kind of girls video, or guys, if you're interested. Or I love to hear guys' perspectives also, because my guy friends are too kind. So if you stuck around this long, this is probably one of the longer videos. Thank you so much for being here, and we will go back to my normal scheduled content next week. We'll do it all again. All right, if you're on your own budgeting or debt payoff journey, I hope that you are all successful this week and every week. Let me know if there are any races or stuff that you guys are training for this summer or the rest of the year, or maybe not even races, but is there anything that you guys are working towards, a goal of yours that you're working towards? I want to hear it. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.